In today's video, I'm going to take you through a realistic trading week of all my live sessions. Every single day, I record myself trading, taking entries, my analysis behind them, and a little bit of insight in the markets while I'm in positions. If you guys like these types of videos, like, comment, subscribe, and then also click the link in my bio to join my trading community. All right, what's up? We lost this trade earlier today. Obviously wasn't recording it, but I called it out to the Discord group. It hit, and then I re-entered again down here off this little rejection. And I will switch over to my broker right now so you can see that. And here you guys go. Here was the losing one for $1,000, and we're currently in this one right now. Right here, this is where we entered, and we are currently floating $300 in profit. And overall for Euro USD, we are currently melting right now. And the reason why I turned on the camera and to record really quick is because I wanted to enter another trade, and we will sit on the recording for a bit while we figure it out. So there's two trades I could take right now. There's a higher probability one, which would be a sell, because obviously we're overall in a downtrend right now. I caught this sell last Friday, and then during market open on Sunday, it hit down here. So like I was only supposed to make like $1,000, but I made 1,700 because it obviously opened below. So that's pretty cool. And then obviously if I would have been holding it, I would have made a lot more, but scalping, so we don't hold trades. So I'm thinking about buying again, which is super high risk because we're finally breaking into this key consolidation zone, and every single fiber in my being is telling me to enter sells right now, because once we enter into a new key consolidation zone like this, it tends to play inside of it for the littlest, for like the time being, which was happening pretty much over here for the longest time, as you can see. All the trades I took, and this is a little bit outdated. I think we got up to like 30 wins overall for like 30%, and obviously we broke down out of it. You see my entry. If you haven't watched my strategy video yet, you see all my entries broken down in that video that I took here in this key consolidation zone. And then you can clearly see it happening even when we start trending and stop consolidating. So we drop down, price retests it, and then continues to show signs of rejections back down. So you enter a sell. That's exactly what happened here. And high risk setup here, I don't really take these entries right here, which is once we come back down into another key consolidation zone, we buy it back up, looking for like a little retest, maybe to this support resistance level right here. But I decided to do it this time, and obviously I got burnt on one position. But the higher probability setup right now would be to sell it. So we already broke down into it. We'll go back down to the 5-minute. We already broke back down into it clearly, and we are in that buy position around here, which it could happen. But I'm thinking if we sell it right here, let's see, we're gonna have a bigger stop, but this might just be like a swing trade for the week. So I'm thinking instead of using this as a swing trade or as a scalp trade like what I'd normally do, I would be looking for like something like this, or even something like this, and then aim for the lows down here. Risk to reward doesn't really mean anything to me. It's more about, I don't know, if it makes you comfortable basing positions solely off risk to reward, then go for it. But to me, it doesn't mean shit. I would be looking for something like this. This would be like the safe entry, but a more aggressive entry would be to enter right now and then have something like that. and that's what I'm thinking about right now for the higher time frames. Scalping reasons, I'd be looking for another long position because we're currently in one right now, and then we would just do the scalping. So it would be 30 and 30 like that, and then we could go back to my broker, and then we could enter that right now if we wanted, which I think I might do, but it's also very high risk. But sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit, right? So that's what I'm contemplating right now. And it's also like no volatility right now either. So I probably won't even be recording for that long because it's currently 5 p.m. So like market just opened back up again. So there's obviously not going to be much volatility until later tonight once London hits. And then the Australia session as well. I honestly think we're going to push back up to this level right here before we tank back down and start trading in this key consolidation zone. So with that in mind, here's what I'm going to do. Probably a lot of people trading would never do this, but I do because I like being risky, and I'm not challenging a prop firm. I trade my own capital so I can be risky, and you guys can't necessarily. So these are going to be the trades I take. I'm going to double up on the position. Mind you, we already lost the position right here, but I'm currently in another long position. I forget where it was. Let's just say it was right there for the time being. So like this is the trade I'm currently in right now. And then I would be doubling up on this long right here. And then what I'd be looking for is for it to push up, hit both of these take profits for the two longs I'm in, and then this is when I would sell it, aiming for the one sell position that I was talking to you guys about there. So that's what I'd be aiming for. So we're gonna go back to my brokerage, and we are gonna buy it again. Okay. So we bought it again, and we will see what happens. And then I personally set my stops and my take profits on my phone just because it's a lot easier, but I'll do that later because I doubt anything is going to happen for the time being. I'm recording this, and then I'll just set my take profits and stop losses on my phone just because you can see lines that you can put instead of having to like type them in and stuff. So we'll go back to this page and we will see what happens. And then this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put maybe like a sell order for here. And then this is going to be like, it's not going to be a scalp, it's going to be a swing trade. So we will see what's going on here. Look how much selling pressure there is. Another big reason why I think it's going to push back up is because it needs to fill this gap right here. It usually always retraces at least 50% of it. Usually, not always, but we will see what happens. And then we will see what type of position I want to take. There's not much to go off of with this unless we really wanted to extend it really far to do something like that. But like, if you're gonna have that big of a stop, you might as well just wait for it to continue pushing up, right? So you can get a better entry and get more profits from it. So that is what I would be looking at for sells. I'd be looking at this level of interest mainly for sells. So this one right here, and then let's say if price comes back into this zone, like this range right here, you could sell at any time price goes into that zone. Not necessarily like any sort of sell signal other than the zone price. So let's say we enter right when it comes back into it, put our stops above this candle right here, this one right here, and then aim for the lows of this key consolidation zone right here. So it's almost a 2R, but like I said, I don't really care about risk to reward, and I don't think you should either. So this is what I would be looking at right now. This is what I am looking at right now. And we're going to leave all of these on too. All of these objects on, because I'll probably update you guys. I probably won't keep on recording for that much longer just because not much volatility around 5 p.m. my time. And I'll just update you guys at the end of this with the outcome of these two trades that I'm currently in, and then if we take this sell as well, and so you guys can see that I'm actually in them. I'm currently in this one right here, this buy, and then this buy, and then I'm going to put a sell limit up here as well, and then we will see what happens, and I'll update you guys once something happens. Okay, what's up? Here's the update of the trades I took. It pushed up like what I said was going to happen. Right side of the screen, trading view. Left side of the screen is where I placed my trades on my broker. As you can see, it pushed up. It hit both of my take profits. $1,000, $1,000 right there. This one was filled during open, and then right after open, my sell was filled, and then obviously that lost. It pushed up over the course of today and yesterday night, and it hit my stop loss, and now it's coming back down. And then this trade right here that I have marked out is ideally what I would want to be looking for next. Let's go over here. Let's push this around. This would have been like a good quick buy, but I obviously didn't get in on it because I own prop firms and I also run a community, so I don't have as much time as I used to just sit and watch the charts. It's more like I look at my trading view, I look at my key zones, see if there's a trade, and if there is one, then I take one, but if there isn't, then I just wait until the afternoon when I can actually look at the charts again, and then I either take a trade then or I don't, and I just wait until tomorrow. So I'm just too busy to be sitting on the charts for 12 hours a day like I used to be able to when my sole income source was from trading. But let's mark out this long that maybe I would have taken. I seen it right here, and I was thinking about taking it. I do 30 profit, so it wouldn't have been hitting take profit yet. So that would have been the trade I would have taken. But obviously I didn't take it. So what I'm looking for now is, honestly, I do think it's going to continue pushing back up. And I do think it's probably going to retest at least 50% of this initial drop right here. But I am also, if we go on to the 4-hour, I am very confident that, holy shit, super messy. Don't worry about that. I am super confident overall that we're going to continue on this downtrend, and it's just rejecting off of this zone right here, and it's going to continue to drop down, which is unfortunate because if we had a little larger stop on the swing trade, we wouldn't have been stopped out, right? And we would have still been in it. But for scalping purposes, this is what I'd be looking for, is this little push up right here. But that's sort of, this initial push up right here sort of invalidates that, so I'm not going to be taking that anymore. The next thing I would be looking for is looking for it to create another higher high and then continue to show signs of continuing the overall downtrend on the bigger time frames, and then that's when I would probably enter sells again. And then that's what I'd be looking for. Intraday, probably buys, looking for a higher low, which this is probably the higher low right here, and then it's going to continue to push up, and it's either going to make another higher high and retest these zones up here and then continue to drop down and go around for the full, or for like the overall downtrend. So it's not even a bad idea to enter a buy right now, but it's kind of risky because we do not know if it's going to continue to push up or if this is the top of when it decides to push back down and continue dropping. But since I am not like any other trader, and most traders on social media don't actually take live trades for the purpose of entertainment, I'm going to take another buy right here, and I'm just going to do, this is going to be the exact setup that I'm going to do. So I'm going to put a long in right here, and then this is my scalping strategy where I do 30 that way, 30 up. Now, mind you, this is not really going with my initial strategy. So this is extremely high risk, and I'm not even going to call this out to the Discord. This is purely for the YouTube entertainment people. For when I upload this, I've decided I'm not going to upload it after updating you guys on these trades like I initially thought. I'm thinking about, I'm going to do my full analysis and thought process throughout the entire week, and then on the weekend I'm going to upload the full thing. So it's going to be like a full weekly breakdown, and I'm going to be recording every single entry I take to and why I'm taking it, and I'm going to break down every single entry as well. And instead of splitting that up per day, it's just going to be a complete week. So it's going to be longer videos, but you'll get a lot of free insight of how I trade and everything. Okay, so I'm putting a buy in right here. Immediately in 35 down. And then, like I said, since I do have other commitments other than just trading, I don't really sit and watch my trades. I don't really do that much anymore, especially since like it's 4 p.m. my time right now, so there's not going to be much movement, and it's not going to be that exciting to watch overall. And so whatever happens with this trade, I'm gonna update you guys with whatever happens. And you know what? I actually am gonna update or send this trade out to my Discord community, and I'm just gonna break it down saying like, hey, you guys probably shouldn't take this because it's sort of dumb. But we will see what happens, and I will update you guys with what happens, whether that's later tonight or tomorrow sometime when I start trading again. All right, what's up? Here's the update of the trade I just took, or the trade I took yesterday, I should say. It hit take profit for $1,000. This is the one I took. I was looking for it to, like I previously stated, I was looking for it to either make another higher high and continue this little uptrend, or I was just looking for it to push up to make another higher low, which it seems like it did make another higher low right here. And then it looks like we're assuming a little downtrend right now. But I decided to take pretty much the exact same buy position right now. As you can see, it's right on my trading view as well. And this one's a lot more risky because as we bounce between like a consolidation zone like we have been right here, the top and bottom of it start to get weak the longer we stay into it. So I am not really confident in this trade for the sole reason of I think we're going to continue down on this little downtrend like I said that we're doing. But with the, I'm looking for it to bounce up one more time before it decides to push back down, and that's what I'm playing off of right now. So currently in a little bit of drawdown, and it was probably a little bit too quick of an entry too. Like I definitely probably could have waited for it to drop down here and then show signs of rejections back up, and that's when I should have entered. So it's a little bit of a FOMO entry, and we're obviously, the bottom of this key consolidation zone that we're in is obviously getting weaker the longer we stay into it, and the more times price bounces off of it. So It's a very high risk trade. I did call it out to the Discord group, so if you're interested in that, link in the bio. Um, and we're just looking for it to have a quick push up, back up, hit take profit, and then continue on this downtrend. And then after we get out of this key consolidation zone, we will be looking for selling opportunities. If we go into the 1 hour, it's a little more clear on the higher time frames that we are in like a downtrend rather than an uptrend. As you guys can see, clear downtrend in Euro USD, and just looking for it to continue downtrend, but looking for a quick push up for a scalping opportunity intraday. And then, like before, I will update you guys with what happens with this trade whenever it happens, whether I lose it, whether I win it. And I was pretty confident with this trade, but I also was on the fence with it. This was more like an intuition trade, just because like we were flagging 100%. We were flagging in this little uptrend right here. And usually with flags, you either get a higher low or a higher high, which in this case we got a higher low to continue on this downtrend right here. And that's what I was looking for, either a higher high or a higher low, rather than it continue to drop. And the probability of that happening to me seemed higher than it continuing to drop, and the probability was higher for it to make a higher high or a higher low. So, and that's what I'm looking for again right here. Looking for another quick push up before it decides to either continue on the bigger time frame downtrend, or for it to just be consolidating right here, like a big consolidation flag before it continues to make another higher high. And I will update you guys with whatever happens. As you guys can see over here on my broker, $1,000 on that trade, and we're risking the same amount. It's going to be pretty much the exact same trade. And then, yeah, update you guys with what happens. All right, what's up? Quicker update. I had to hop on really quick, so I didn't have time to set up the camera. So I'm just using the built-in one on my MacBook. This is what's happening with the trade I took earlier today. It's currently like 3:40 p.m. If this 5-minute candle closes green, which it's going to be closing in 3 minutes, I'm going to scale in and put another position in. We're currently up 250, and then I'm going to have the same amount of risk and everything as well. So it's just going to be, let's say it closes right here. I'll do the exact same thing. So 30 up and then 30 down, and then whatever that risk is for you. I risk $1,000 on it. On all these positions, I risk $1,000 for my scalping positions. And then for my swing trading positions, I obviously risk a little bit more, because on this sell that got stopped out, which was supposed to be a swing trade, I risk $3,500, so obviously quite a bit more. And I also want to talk about something after this, but I'm thinking about, I've never traded any crypto based pairs, but I'm looking at the volatility, especially since like for most of the crypto markets, you can even trade on the weekends as well. And like there's always volatility in them. I'm thinking about trying it out. So I'm thinking I might do another, load up another brokerage account and then test out this strategy on like a crypto market. But we will see what happens, because like I feel like that's the wave to do. You should transition. If you're doing FX commodities, that's cool and all, futures, but you're limited to only 5 days during the week, which isn't a problem. And you're limited to like volatility in terms of like news and everything. Whereas with like the crypto-based markets, they're always volatile, it seems like. So it's interesting, and I like volatility. It's the way I learned how to trade was on the Dow, like on the Dow Jones, the DJI, or US 30, whatever you want to call it. That's where I learned how to scalp and trade. And the reason why I mainly scalp Euro USD now is because it's one of the most well-behaved FX pairs, if you were to ask me. It's so stable and it follows trends so easily. It's so easy to read. Okay, so this candle closed green, and like I said, I was going to scale in, so I'm going to scale in. Look at that spread, dude. That's fucked. Already down. Whatever. That's fine. It's fine. So we got a spread hike right there. So I'm going to move this to reflect that. It's above this high right here. So I'm going to say that's our entry right there. And this is a scaled position. And the reason why I scale and how I determine if I'm going to scale is exactly with what it's going to do, or exactly what it's doing here, is I usually like to keep a clean chart for the most part, but a lot of people have a bunch of indicators and stuff, which isn't a problem, but I think it gives you biases on how you read your charts overall. So I'll mark out this little 5-minute key consolidation zone, and then obviously there's another one right here. And basically, this is giving you guys insight about my trading strategy too. Once price comes out of a key consolidation zone, it loves to retest it and then show signs of continuation depending on whatever trend it's doing. And clearly we're sort of in a mini uptrend right now in this 5-minute, but we just don't know how long it's going to go for, because obviously small time frame trends don't really mean shit. But so we came out, we broke out of this small 5-minute key consolidation zone, and then we formed another one above it. And right now we just went down and retested it. And then, like I said, price loves to retest key consolidation zones. It doesn't matter if you're in a more valid key consolidation zone on the higher time frames or on clearly on the 5-minute like I am. Price follows and retests and pretty much loves to stay in key consolidation zones or retest them and bounce off of them. That's exactly what's happening here. So came up, formed another key consolidation zone, came back down to retest it, show signs of rejections back down. And my entry model is if I get 2 rejection candles to whichever side I'm trying to trade, that's my entry. So exactly right there, after this green candle closed right here, that's my entry to get in. One thing to mention about this trade I'm taking, it is high risk because, like I said, overall Euro USD is on a overall downtrend, and we're just trying to play off of another higher low before it continues to drop completely. So that's something to note. And something else is that these are supposed to be intraday trades, not swing trades. So the longer you hold these trades when you're in an overall downtrend and you're trying to buy it like I am, the riskier it is the longer you hold it, because obviously it's going to continue to drop eventually. So we're just looking for it to continue to push up a little bit into this area right here before we continue to drop down. And that's pretty much the reason why I'm taking this trade. Other than that, let's go check out a market that I have been interested in checking out for a bit, and you guys will also be able to see me break it down real time. Solana. Solana versus the US dollar. Let's see what's going on. So today is May 15th. Like, look at these moves, man. Like, that's insane. The only thing I don't know is if I feel like it wouldn't follow trends. Like, I feel like it's sort of like the Dow Jones, where it just does whatever the fuck it wants. But we will see what's going on. Like, look at these moves. Look at these volatilities. Like, okay, let's zoom out. This is getting me excited. I fucking love this shit. So you guys will sort of see how I break it down. I look for key consolidation zones and look for trades in them. So let's mark out this one. I'm not going to go too in depth with it, because obviously it would probably be unfair to like my premium trading members. But my trading strategy is very simple. I like to market that as much as possible, and you guys can probably learn it just from watching me trade. But what I'd be looking for immediately off the top of my head right now, I've never traded Solana before, would be looking for it to show signs of rejections, which it's bouncing in between this key consolidation zone. I'm going to be looking for it to show signs of rejections at the bottom and then see if I can buy it up. But I also know a lot of brokerages, they have massive spreads on crypto pairs just because they are so volatile. So you were probably better off just going with actual crypto exchanges to do it, maybe. I don't know anything about it. So if people know platforms to trade these type of markets, like crypto markets, let me know, because I'll definitely try it out. So this would be like a buy signal. I would buy this right now for a scalp. So let's just put this on. I'm obviously not taking it because I have no way to access this market to actually put money in. So like I said, I need you guys' help, or I need to do more research on it. I'm just going to go with like my normal. That's weird. It's like 300 instead of 30. That's okay. I'll just go with 300 because I assume that's the correct thing to do. And then put 300 that way too. So this would be like the trade I'd be looking for, that I would take right now if I had a way to take this trade. And then I'd be looking for it to either come to the 50% mark, or like the 50% mark on the key consolidation zone over to hit the top of it. And then you could close once it hits take profit if you want. Let's take the fib route really quick. I just want to see some things. I don't really use the fib that much, but it clearly sometimes it works. I'm going to have to switch up the colors on this, which I'm not going to do now, so I'm just going to say fuck it. We will see. So this would be, we will mark out the like the 50% mark of this key consolidation zone, which let's say is there. Okay. So realistically, that would be like the first take profit if we were actually scalping this. But we will see what happens with this trade. I will update you guys with this Solana trade, which I'm obviously not taking, but live back testing for you guys. It seems like my strategy, my 5-minute scalping strategy, would work. Mark out the key consolidation zone, wait for it to break. Obviously, we're using hindsight data, so it's clear that it will work. But even if we were to do it, I guess I'd probably be stopped out a little bit, because the way I would mark this out is after a high and a low formed, I'd mark it out, so it'd be right there and right there. So that would be the thing that I would mark out during back testing, because obviously if we were in replay mode, this would be the only data we could see. We couldn't see these highs, and then I would just move it along that way. So let's just zoom into the 5-minute and see how price reacts to that first box that I would actually be back testing off of. So like even then it's working. Let's say we were taking shorts up here, and then so we'd be stopped out on these positions right there, because that's obviously more than 30. But I wouldn't even be taking that position because it would be breaking out. So it would be break out of this first box, and then after it shows signs of rejections back down, then I would have taken it. So realistically I would have taken it right here, and then 300. So I still would have gotten stopped out right there. But the thing is, with it's a lot harder to what's it called? When you're first starting trading in a key consolidation zone, you may get stopped out from taking trades off the top and bottom of it, but that's good, because it shows you a clearer sign of where price is probably going to reject. So after I got stopped out there, I would stop out, or I would mark out the stop out level, which would be up here, and then I would also mark out my entry right here with a horizontal ray, and then dependent on if price kept on rejection, I would have let this form right here, and then I would take trades off of this horizontal ray up here, because it would be safer than this one down here. that I took. So let's play off of that. And then clearly you could also take trades right here, but I'd be wary of doing it again just because we got stopped out right there. So I probably wouldn't have taken these rejections right here. These would have been higher risk. I would have waited for a pullback to this zone up here. Clearly we would have taken this trade if I seen it. And then 30 or 300 in this case to 300. So that would have hit take profit right there. This one would have hit take profit. And then I probably would have taken it again up here. So this is just giving you guys insight about everything. So this one would have hit too. So it seems like it's working. I'm going to go into replay mode and back test it more thoroughly. And then I need your guys' help to know how, like, look at these moves. Look at these spikes, dude. That's way better than fucking whatever the fuck this is over here, hey? This is like an old man market where like old heads like me go to trade. This is where like the new gen trades over here. I'm very interested in it though. This kind of reminds me of Euro USD. And the reason being is because we were consolidating in a zone like this. We pushed up, created another one up here, and then we pushed back down into it. And that's sort of like what we're trading now. But on Euro USD, we dropped down out of it, we retested it, and then continued to drop down. Kind of funny how some markets resemble others. All right. Anyways, we will go back to Euro USD. This is very interesting. I'm going to add it to my watch list. And then I will give you guys an update with this Euro USD trade with whatever happens, because clearly we scaled in. And then I'll also set my risk to this as well. But like I said, I set my risk on my phone just because it's a lot easier. Like I'll show you right now. I'll go set my risk. So I don't know about you guys, but if you're on the MT5 platform like I am, it's a lot easier to set your stop loss and take profits on your phone because you have like lines you can move around. I don't know if you can see this. Like you have like lines you can move around, and it's a lot easier to do it than having to type out like the levels like on the web trader, like what I would have to do. So I'm going to set my stop loss and take profits for this new scaled position trade. And if you guys are watching the chart right now, which you guys should be, I have them set. I'm gonna modify the position and they're gonna auto populate over there. Would you look at that? They showed up. So there's my risk for this one. So right now we're in for $2,000 risk to make $2,000. And you will see what happens. I'll update you guys with what happens. In the meantime, I'm gonna take more interest in the Solana market because that's very interesting. So if you're fucking like actively managing this, which I'm not because I have other commitments, like I said, I own prop firms and run a community and stuff. I can't really be sitting on the charts all day. The next thing I'd be looking for is for price to finally move up again and then create another 5-minute key consolidation zone right there. And then for it to come and do this exact thing right here where it comes up, retests it, shows signs of rejections, pushes back up into a new key consolidation zone, comes back down, retests this one right here, and then shows signs of rejections back up. And then realistically, you could probably scale in again because it just continues to give you more confirmations that price is continuing to go into the direction you think it's going to go. So you could either continuing to scale in, or it just gives you more confirmations that you got your first analysis correct. And another thing is, if you're on a prop firm challenge, you shouldn't even be risking the full $1,000 or whatever you're risking. Your first analysis trade, which would have been, where is it? this one, which would have been this one, it should be like a quarter of the position size of what you would actually be risking full. Because if the analysis was incorrect, you're only risking like a quarter of your actual position. And then you would scale in with all these confirmations right here to reach your actual position size of $1,000 or whatever you're risking. Just free tips on how to pass prop firms and how to manage risk in prop firms. All right, I'll update you guys with the outcome of this trade, or if I continue to scale in, if it continues to push up, because I'm going to be eyeing it a little bit as I'm working, but we will see what happens. What's up? We're back, finishing off the week. It's Friday, so this is going to be my last update before I upload. Here is the outcome of the trades that I was previously in and scaled in. Here they are right here. I was busy last night, so the first one hit take profit right there for $1,000. The second one hit stop loss for $1,000. But if you look on my trading view over here where we showed the risk, because you can't really see the risk anymore, we pretty much almost hit take profit. We were probably up like $950. And to be honest, if I was actively managing it, I probably would have just closed it. But nonetheless, I was busy last night. I was busy being an adult, spending time with my woman and just living life. So I obviously missed this entry. I actually looked at it before I went to sleep, and we were floating around here. I'm pretty sure I was up like $500. I could have closed it, but I thought we were just coming back down for another retest of this little key consolidation zone, and then we are going to shoot back up and hit it. But clearly that didn't happen. We lost, and that pretty much closes out the week. So we will go through all of the trades I took this week or closed this week. And I'll show you on my broker side. So on the left side here is my broker, so you guys can see the trades, all the trades I took. And then we'll calculate the profits as well. So this trade I took last week on Friday, but it closed on Monday during market open, or Sunday I should say, for $1,700. Okay. Then took this buy. It was a loser for $1,000. Took this buy, it was a winner for $1,000. Took this buy, it was a winner for another $1,000. What trade is this? Oh, that's the sell that I took for negative $3,500. And then this was the buy that I took the other day, $1,000. And then these were the trades that I took. So in total, what is that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 trades, including this one since it closed on Saturday or Sunday. I'm sort of on the fence with, I'm going to do a calculation with considering this one, because this was a swing trade when necessarily on this account I've just been scalping. So I'm thinking I'll do a calculation of the total profit this week without this trade and then also with this trade. But we will see. Those were all the trades I took today. So this validates that I actually took them. You can see the profits and losses. And then let's go over to the trading view where you can sort of see the analysis behind them a little bit more. And I'm going to break it down a bit more for you guys too. So this trade on Friday that I took, I think I touched on it a bit earlier in this recording, but pretty much this was a massive key consolidation zone up here, this gray box up here, and we finally broke out of it, and then we retested it, showed signs of rejections back down, so I sold it. And then during market open on Sunday, we closed, and this is my exact entry model, by the way. Once we get out of a key consolidation zone like this, I call them more valid key consolidation zones, which are on the 1 hour. So like I'll zoom out to the 1 hour and show you the entire key consolidation zone that we were trading in, that we finally broke out of. Clearly, it's a big consolidation zone, and clearly you can see all the trades that I've been taking off of it in it. and then we finally broke down, and then this was the trade that I took on Friday. So we'll go back down on the 5-minute, and then pretty much the entry model is after we break out of a key consolidation zone, you wait for it to retest it, because almost 9 times out of 10 price will always come back up and retest the key consolidation zone, and then either show signs of rejections back down like it did right here with this massive spike down, or it'll continue pushing back up and then trade back into the key consolidation zone. So after we showed signs of rejections back down, that was my entry to sell it. And clearly it worked out. And usually on these trades, you can swing them for a couple days and you can make a lot more profit. But like I said, on this account, primarily I've just been scalping. So we could have gotten a lot more profits if we swung it for a day or two, but just for scalping reasons, I had my scalping risk and take profits set up. So that was the first trade that was on Sunday for $1,700 gain. This one was a loser. Another one of my entry models is, I don't really take these that often, but once we break out of a key consolidation zone and then start to come back down to the top of another one, if we test it, if we reject up and then we retest it and show signs of rejections back up, you can buy it off the bounce back, looking for it to bounce back up. And that's exactly what happened here. So here's the first touch, rejected off of it, show signs of rejections back down, and then showed signs of rejections back off the top of it. And then this would have been the entry right here, but I didn't see the trade until we started to show signs of rejections right here. And like I even said, this was a late entry and kind of FOMO entry on my Discord. So that's why we lost it, I think, because obviously the longer you stay at key levels and bounce off of them, the weaker they become, right? So we didn't bounce off of it. This was a fake rejection right here. I'll zoom in so you guys can see it a bit more. It was a fake rejection right here. That's where I took my buy, immediately tanked down. And then after we tanked down and got stopped out and showed signs of rejections back up, I made my analysis said that we were going to push back up to this level right here before dropping back down and trading inside of this key consolidation zone, which I broke at the start, which I broke down at the start of this video. And clearly they both hit. Over the course of the next couple days, they both hit. And then that's when we got filled in for the swing trade, which I don't know why I took a swing trade when this is purely for a scalping video or scalping account. But we took a swing trade. The stop loss was a little too tight for what I was planning on doing. We got stopped out, then we pretty much ran back down. But nonetheless, continue going. I said that this was a flag in the overall little uptrend we were doing, and I was looking for it to create another higher high or a higher low in either this uptrend or starting a downtrend. So that's why I bought in on this flag down, and clearly we made another higher low, and then our take profit got hit on that scalp. Okay, moving on. The last two trades I took, which I said which was just going to be a repeat of this one. The first one hit take profit. The second one came close to hitting take profit, but then we got stopped out. And that pretty much breaks down our entire week of trading, or my entire week of trading. And if we don't include the swing trade, that's a profit of $3,755, which if you have watched the video up to this point, that's what I'm going to put on the thumbnail. So get fucking clickbaited, you nerds. But if we take in consideration the swing trade that we lost, that brings us back down to like $177 profit for the week, including commissions and fees and everything. Without commissions and fees, it's like $250, which is still not that good, but we are still, from the start of May, overall, we are up like $7,000, $8,000 So we're still good. This was just kind of like a break even week. Um, Next week is going to be a lot better. I can feel it. And let's check on the Solana trade. I haven't even checked the Solana trade yet, so this will be a live reaction too, which I said that I would take if I knew an exchange or how to take crypto trades without there being a massive spread like most brokerages do. So let's go check on it. The Solana trade, I said I was going to buy it off the rejection off the bottom of the key consolidation zone, which it was at. So let's go check on it. If it loads, oh, look at that, dude. It would have hit take profit. Maybe this is obviously just one trade. I said I would take it right there. We broke up, came back down, kind of like the 50% mark of my risk. And then straight after that, we ran straight to take profit. So, which is amazing. That's a good sign. And that gives me more confirmation that maybe I should backtest my scalping strategy in the Solana versus the USD market, because I feel like it could work. And like, look at the volatility. Like even today, like the volatility was good. Like 16. So this was the start of the day, right where my crosshair is. And as you can see, there was a trade that we could have taken. If we were watching this and we were solely looking at this particular market, I would have taken this trade right here. Okay? So it would have been 30 or 300 risk. And let's see if it would have hit. So it would have hit take profit. So yeah, like that would have been two trades that I would have made, because if after this one hit take profit, this is just hypothetical. If I would have taken this, like actually, I would have put a horizontal ray right there. And then pretty much I would be saying, if price comes close to that horizontal ray and rejects off of it, then that's signs for a buy. And clearly I would have bought right there, like I said. I would have put another horizontal ray right there. And then you could buy off it again right here if you're riskier, or you could wait for it to drop back down and come back down here. Another thing to mention is I'm going to show you guys back on the Euro USD chart in a second. But like these lines that I mark out, like these horizontal rays, they hold up for a long ass fucking time. Like, I don't know why more people don't do it. Like if you take a position, mark out the level you put the position in, because like if you see some of the lines I put out like in hindsight data, even now, like a month ago, the levels that I mark out are still in play today. Like it's fucking crazy. Like the market loves to just in general like repeat itself. So I'm gonna, during this weekend, I think I'm gonna backtest Solana, and I might actually record myself doing that and make a video about me backtesting Solana. And then we might, after I get some insight from you guys or do my own research to figure out how I can actually load up a brokerage account and take trades in these crypto markets without massive spreads, I'm going to start trading it, I think. And then after I have like a couple months green, then I'll start calling it out in like my Discord and stuff. But let's go back to Euro USD. I'll show you guys the levels that I was talking about, that how they are valid. So like these levels I marked out earlier in the week. I marked out these levels earlier in the week right here. This is when I marked them out over here. And look, price is reacting to them perfectly. Comes down, touches it, rejects off of it, comes back up, touches this one. Now it's showing signs of resistance at it. Like it's, once you guys are capable of seeing these levels and marking them out, literally chart reading and trading becomes like the easiest thing ever. Trust me. Like just, it's like a steep learning curve, but once you're able to eye the market and see certain key levels and see certain things, trading literally becomes easy as fuck. People that are profitable or people that have had profitable months will understand that. And sometimes like you'll go into flow state as well. Like this month of April right here, this key consolidation zone was flow state for me. Made 30% trading off of these levels right here. But like, look at all these levels that I mark out of these key consolidation zone like months ago, back in like March, and like they're still in play to this day. See all these levels, top of this key consolidation zone right here, we're rejecting off of right now. The ultimate high of this key consolidation zone, we're playing off of it right now too. Like, you guys gotta mark out your levels and stop deleting like your chart markups and the levels, because they are in play and are still valid for what seems like the rest of time, really, because honestly that's what it is. So that's going to wrap it up for the week. I'm going to be recording every single week next week as well, and then going to do a full breakdown like I did this week as well. So if you like the video, like, subscribe, and comment down below if you guys want to see other content. I'm planning on releasing a lot more educational content. I'm going to release another video breaking down my entire strategy. I want to record that Solana backtesting video, and I just want to overall make general educational content for people to watch and consume, because I feel like there's a lot of bullshit in the industry that doesn't even really mean anything. There's very few actual good educators, and I like to keep things simple. When I talk about my charts, you don't hear me using a bunch of bullshit jargon like most people do, that only people that know about that jargon know what's going on. I like to keep things very simple, like, hey, I'm looking at this level, so I'm marking it out. I'm sure even if you're a beginner and have never seen or looked at charts before, you can somewhat follow how I trade just from watching me mark out key levels and trade off of them. Like, it's very simple. So I'm planning on recording a new strategy video which goes in more in depth about it, and then obviously put out more general educational content that's more verse for like everybody and universal, where I will be diving deeper into like the more BS jargon type of stuff. But I think it's good foundational knowledge to at least know of, and then you can sort of cater your own entry models and everything to that. So yeah, like the video, like, subscribe, and see you guys next week.